Hey, sports fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime sports handicapper and professional sports bettor for the past 35 years here in Vegas. And this is your Gary Wins videos. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And this is your Black Friday, Super Saturday, College Football Rivalry Week, one of my favorite weeks of the year to bet. And this is going to be your top college football betting nuggets, top trends, and title game implications. So many big games, even for teams that only have a 5-6 record, that need a win to get into a bowl berth. So it's a big game for a lot of teams this week, and a couple of teams that may let down due to the fact that they're already knowing that they're going to advance to next week's championship game. And a lot of times in these situations, these teams will kind of rest up a little bit because you just want to go into the title game. That's the biggest game of the year, trying to win a conference championship. And, that's what happens, and you got to be prepared for that. And sometimes the lines makers do not adjust fully to that. But we'll start right off the top. Teams that have fared the next week facing Notre Dame, or teams the week after facing Notre Dame, I should say. 9-1 against the spread. Notre Dame's beating people up, physical football this year, and it's not been good for the teams that play them the week after. That team this week is Army, and this is a double whammy for Army because they are in the championship game next week. So they could let down. They're facing UTSA, and UTSA has won three straight covers. Good opportunity for UTSA to make it 4 in a row. North Carolina State, they've won 3 straight against their rival North Carolina Tar Heels. For the Tar Heels, this will be the final game for their head coach, Mack Brown. For NC State, a win, and they go bowling. Virginia Tech and Virginia, they both need a win for to go to a bowl game, both 5-6, so going to be an outstanding game. You're playing for it's a big deal, even though both aren't that good this year. Oregon, their head coach Lanning, 0-3, playing the University of Washington, and almost no one else has beat this guy, so it's unbelievable they've had his number, including the championship game last year in the Pac-12. Next up is USC. And USC, the intriguing thing about this team is that they've led in the fourth quarter of every single game this year, okay? And they ended up with 5 losses. So, you got to put the players and the coaches' accountability there. If you can't hold the lead, it's going to be a tough game against Notre Dame. If you can't hold a lead against bad teams, it's going to be a lot harder to hold one late against Notre Dame. UNLV, win this week, and they can go to the Mountain West Conference title game versus Boise State. That would be a fantastic game, I'll tell you that. Look forward to seeing that one. New Mexico, they just need one more win to go bowling. And what's amazing about this team is the turnaround. No one knows about this team. No one talks about this team. They score. The games go over every week. They're the 4th best offense in the nation. You got to tip your cap. That's a fantastic rebuilding job right there. Next up, we have Michigan and Ohio State. This is the trend of the day, folks. 10 straight overs in this matchup. Ohio State, Michigan, 10 straight over the total. Next up, Texas and Texas A&M. And what's a hardship is that these two teams have not faced off against each other since 2011. This should be an automatic ritual every single year on this weekend. But they'll lace them up again on this weekend. And the best part about it is the winner goes to the Southeast Conference Championship game next week. A lot on the line for both teams. Michigan State, 5-6. They're going to play Rutgers. They need one win to get a bowl berth. Rutgers already had their bowl berth secured with a 6th win a couple weeks ago, so a much bigger game for Michigan State. Arizona State, the sleeper team of the year almost. Nobody's talking about this team. Tremendous coaching job. I've liked this team since last year when I saw how he coached and how the players responded. But they win this game and they go to the Big 12 title game. That will be one of the greatest accomplishments of the year. This team was picked to be in the bottom. BYU. If Arizona State sorry about my writing's bad on this one. Iowa State and Colorado, if they all end up, and BYU, if they all win, it's going to end up Arizona State and Iowa State. So it's a crazy scenario that you could still win these games where a lot of teams know if they're going to win, they're going to get in. Not in this conference. This is the craziest ending of the conference season of all. These crazy tiebreaker things are going to really come into play, I think. Next up, Kansas. Kansas now with a win against Baylor, and they will earn a bowl bid. So very big game. And Kansas and Baylor are really the two hottest teams in the Big 12. They almost playing themselves into a situation coming down the end of the season. You don't want to play either one of these teams in a bowl game. But next up, we have Vanderbilt, 7-1 against the spread when they are a dog this season. Colorado State. If they win on Saturday and UNLV gets beat to their rival in Nevada, Colorado State will then go to the Mountain West Conference title. Georgia, 0-6 against the spread this year, laying 2 touchdowns or more. Georgia Tech, who they play, 20-5 the last 25 years against Georgia. Georgia Tech, crazy. They've been a big underdog many of these games, and they're getting the money. They get up for this game. Iowa, this is the shockingest trend other than the 10-0 with the Ohio State-Michigan over. But Iowa, 9 of the 11 games this year went over the total. This is a team last year that 20 points was like a team getting 65. Unbelievable turnaround. Got rid of the coach's son calling the plays, and this team has been fantastic, fantastic. Running back, offense completely different, and this team's played high-scoring games, but the numbers are still low. It's crazy. Next up, let's see. Got to use the glasses for this one. Okay, Auburn next up against Alabama. Auburn wins, they get a bowl berth. Alabama, dead. No SEC title, no college football playoff. Just a disastrous finish here. 3 weeks ago, it looked like they might be the best team in the country. Next up, Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio. The winner of this game goes to the MAC title game. Clemson, they go to the ACC title game with a win and a Miami loss to Syracuse. Wisconsin, they need 1 win to go to a bowl game. Kentucky has amazingly 5 straight wins over Louisville, their rival, by an average score of 43-17. It would be just like Kentucky on a down year to come up and score 40 or so against Louisville in this game too. Crazy stuff. And the last 2 are big ones. Jacksonville State. Okay, Jacksonville State's going to be playing in a big game where if they win this game on Saturday, they're going to go to the title game in the Sun Belt. Okay? They're already in the title game. My bad. They're in the title game. Western Kentucky plays Jacksonville State. If they win this game, they will play a rematch next week for the title against Jacksonville State. So we could see these 2 teams play back-to-back weeks. We've seen this a lot over the years. It does come into play somehow, some way. The schedule makers made a good schedule, and this is a huge game, much bigger. And again, you got to worry if you're taking Jacksonville State because they could just let down and be sure to rest their players because next week's game is much more important than this one. They're getting there either way. They're going to have to play somebody different next week, but you don't want to go into that game beat up. And the last one is going to be the Bubble Burst Team of the Week. And we've done this all year, and I've done it for 35 years, and Bubble Bursts never fail to deliver. They're like the UPS at Christmas time. They keep delivering until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. Weather doesn't matter. But the bubble burst for Army last week. Undefeated. They're in that spot now this week. And again, they're in a spot where it's double whammy because they just need to get to the next week's game, which is the title game, healthy. So be very wary of Army in that spot. So hopefully these things have helped you up and get you a little bit more prepared for the College Football Rivalry Week, the most fun week of the year. And we hope that you're having a great Thanksgiving day and have a good Thanksgiving weekend. Drive safe out there, folks. If you're going to drink, please get a designated driver. Don't bet what you cannot afford to lose. Enjoy the games and have a great holiday weekend. God bless.